What's up, guys? Winner Kills here, and welcome to a brand new and updated Invoked Mekk Knight deck profile. Really excited to bring you guys this profile. This is a deck that last night on stream I went like 8-0 with. It was insane, like undefeated. I almost had a completely undefeated stream too. I think I played 8 matches with the Mekk Invoked, went undefeated, and then I played some Photon matches in Pure Mekk. Almost beat my PR on stream of 13-0, almost, but I lost on that 12th match, or the 13th match, 12-1. Feels bad, man, but either way, I'm going to bring you guys that Mekk Knight Invoked profile. Had plenty of testing with it. I'll show you guys a card choice that I was playing, but have since decided to cut for a few reasons, and I'll just give you guys some options later on as well. But yeah, one other thing I want to mention, check out Imperium Duelist, guys. You know, I say it all the time. If you're looking for any mats, sleeves, dice, things of that nature, check them out down in the description below, and use that discount code WinnerKills10 off to save you a little money on your next purchase. So without further ado, we will go into the profile here, starting of course with the monsters. As always, triple purple Nightfall, the best Mekk Knight in the deck, whether you're going first or second. He's the one you usually want to see, just because he gets you a search. He doesn't require a monster in your opponent's side of the field to be in that column that he's summoning, much like Purple Nightfall, or not Purple Nightfall, but Blue Sky does. So just a very, very awesome Mekk Knight. Comes back during the standby phase after he's banished. Will be even better when we get Psyframe Lambda as well in the Battles of Legend. 2 Mekk Knight Indigo Eclipse, move zones, which is important into the Mekk Knight strategy. Really powerful card. 2 Blue Sky, Power Searcher, but just a card you really don't want to see going first, much rather see it going second. Search it off Purple Nightfall when you're going second, and 1 Red Moon. I decided to not play the Yellow Star, just because I wanted extra room, and I didn't want to play too many Mekk Knights. I think the amount of Mekk Knights we're playing right now is fine. I believe we're playing 8 Mekk Knights. I think that's a good number to stick with for now. So just 8 Mekk Knights, 3 purple, 2 indigo, 2 blue, and 1 red. That is it for the Mekk Knight lineup. Now we'll go into the Invoke stuff, because this is, of course, an Invoked Mekk Knight build. So we do have triple Alistair the Invoker. It's the heart and soul of the deck, the normal summon that matters the most. Very, very good card. Gets all your fusion plays going. Allows you to have decent going first turns. You open this with any other light. Get yourself a monster negation, no problem. So Alistair, very, very important. And then here I have 2 Time Maiden. A lot of people are always questioning what this card is, like what's its purpose for in the Invoked Mekk Knight strategy. Well, it's mainly because it does 2 things. It really, really helps you when you have to go first, because you can special summon this card from your hand while you control no monsters. So you can just special summon them out, attack or defense, link them away into Link Karibo, and that does 2 things. It gets you something in the extra monster zone with an arrow down, puts a light monster in graveyard for you, and helps set up for fusion plays and Mekk Knight plays all at the same time. So it's a very, very awesome card, and it doesn't take up your normal summon either, which is why the main reason why I put this card back in over Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. I was testing on stream playing 2 Ibli instead of the 2 Time Maiden, simply because turn 1, if you open this, you normal it, make Mermaid, this goes to their side of the field, and then you can resolve Purple Nightfall turn 1, which I actually pulled off a time or 2, and it was nice to be able to, or not use Purple Nightfall, but use Blue Sky turn 1, because they would have a card in their zone because of Ibli. But the main thing I didn't like about this is that it conflicted with Alistair quite a few times, right? Open this and Alistair, and I just would always value the Alistair play to be much more important, because Mekabit is such a strong card. And I think this would fit much better in a pure Mekk Knight deck as an option to play, or Draconet as another option, or just the Vrams with the unexpected die. But this is an idea that I had. I did play it, I did use it, but I guess it's just player preference. You could either play the double Time Maiden or the double Nightmare Corruptor Ibli. It's up to you entirely. I'm just choosing to play the Time Maidens for now. And there's another cool thing you can do with this as well. If you go during your turn, you make, like, especially if you're going second per se, let's say if you're going second, you have Alistair and a Mekk Knight. You link them into a Cerberus or Phoenix, pop a card, and then link that into Mermaid, and then Mermaid summons this out, And then you link Mermaid and this right into Alistair after clearing a card. So it can be a pretty decent combo when going second, but it does conflict a little bit going first, especially if you already have that normal summon. Like I said, it could be either or. You could either play the Time Maiden or the Nightmare Corruptor Iblis. I'm just opting to play the Time Maidens just because I feel like it just fits a little better than Iblis does in some cases. So we will go ahead and go into the hand traps now. We have triple Ash Blossom, Enjoy Spring, and 2 copies of Effect Veiler. You could play more hand traps. I think this is a fine ratio. Playing this card is great just because it's a fire monster, which gives you easy access to Purgatrio, which can steal so many games, and so many games that people aren't expecting to lose, and then you just summon out and hit everything they have for piercing, and just sheer amounts of damage, especially when you ditch an Alistair over top of it. It's just such a powerful card, and Ash allows you to go into it on top of, you know, doing things that Ash does, negating important card effects for your opponent. That's why when we get Salamangreat Almirage, this deck will be a lot better because you'll have very, very easy access to a fire monster turn 1 or turn 2 just off of Alistair in a Link summon. Now we'll go into the spells. The spells, we have triple Magical Meltdown. Of course, got to play through Magical Meltdown. Need to see this card as soon as possible, or at least the card that searches this card, Alistair. I think 3 fusions is alright. I've tried to. I just always go back to playing the 3 just because you want to see this card in most cases. Can it break sometimes? Yes. This deck isn't the most consistent deck on the planet, but you do, if anything, want to see Invocation in your hand as soon as possible, especially if you don't even open Alistair or whatever. You can still make the Alistair Link and use that for a fusion in worst case scenario. So yeah, just 3 Invocation, 3 Meltdown, 3 Mind Control. Fantastic card for going second. You can set it going first for a column. Just incredible card. Called by the Grave, same thing here. You definitely want to play this at 3. I was playing it at 2, but I cut Monster Reborn for the 3rd one just because I think this card is just too good. Double Instant Fusion, you need this card for going second. Very helpful for going first as well. And if you open this in Book of Law, you can go into Ragin and then Book of Law into a Mekk basically for free. Double Pot of Desires, I think you do have to play draw power in here. I think draw power is very, very important in this deck. I think to have no draw power is not the best idea. So I think Desires fits pretty well because we do play a lot of 3-ofs in the deck. You know, a lot of 3-ofs. Not all 3-ofs, but quite a few 3-ofs. Then we have double Terraforming, obviously to search out the Magical Meltdown, and then double Super Polymerization. I don't have a second one yet. I will be getting another Super Poly soon. But Super Poly does come up quite a bit in here. We are playing a few targets in the extra deck. And I'll give you guys some other Super Poly options as well, other than the ones that I'm playing. But Super Poly fits really, really well in here. Not only can you use it to make Mekk and stuff, if you just have an Alistair on field, but you can use this as a way to break boards going second. If, you know, the board that they have, in most cases they usually do, you know, fit the requirements of the cards you're trying to make, you can just basically clear negations for free, and just get a monster out of it, and whatever happens to that monster doesn't matter because it's already done its job. It can't respond to it, and I think playing 2 is perfectly fine. 1 Book of Law, definitely want to have this card as a card to search off of Alistair. Every time I cut this card, I regret it because I realize how powerful it is, just because you can search this off of the Alistair Link monster, and then just use this to go for a game by attributing out your Mekk into another Purgatrio, and then boosting that up and attacking for more damage. It's just really, really good. 1 World Legacy Session, a good search target off of our Morningstar, because of course we're still playing 1 Morningstar in here. I feel like you have to play Morningstar still as a Mekk Knight sort of base deck. That is it for the spells. We will go into the traps now, which consist of triple Infinite Impermanence. It's a fantastic card. Do you have to play Impermanence? No. This is actually a 44 card build, so you could just drop these entirely if you don't want to pick these up or spend the money to pick these up. I think this card fits really, really well in here. Another thing you could do is you could drop this for the Mekk Knight trap that negates spells. You could also play a World Legacy's Memory as well instead. You could also play Chalice, more hand traps. It's up to you. There's plenty of options. Impermanence, I just feel as though, is one of the best. And then last but not least, 1 World Legacy Secrets. When all else fails and you don't get to any invoked plays or anything like that, Being able to set up Morningstar with Indigo Engrave with this is still a very solid 2 monster negation, maybe even 3 monster negation going first board. So this card is very, very crucial, I feel, and a decent search option off of your Morningstar. So that's it for the traps and the main deck. I believe that's 18 monsters, 22 spells, and 4 traps, 44 card build, fitting very nicely and playing very nicely at 44 cards as well. Now we'll go into the extra deck. Here we have double Mekk. I still haven't felt the need to play 3 yet, so I'm still going to run the 2 and alongside the 1 Purgatrio, which I might play a second one of these, but probably when we get El Mirage, I'll play a second one, because right now I think 1 is just usually enough to win anyways. Usually when this card comes out, it's because you're going for game, and game will happen regardless usually. And 1 Invoked Raging. This is a great instant fusion target. Obviously, if they use Droll or something against you, can go into this pretty easily and make it a Book of Moon. Or if you like open instant fusion and you have a way to make a Mekk Knight play, like you can link the Raging Away and the Mekk Knight, or this would be up here. Link the Raging Away and the Mekk Knight, go into Morningstar, pitch something off Morningstar, and then add World Legacy Succession to bring this back. And you have yourself a Book of Moon with whatever else you have, so it gets a little bit better to be able to revive that card, which is pretty nice. And now we'll go on to the super poly targets, and first we have 1 Starving Venom Fusion Dragon. This is really, really great against the Orcus matchup, good against BA. You also play some dark monsters in the main deck as well. It could be Thousand Eyes, it could be Link Karibo, it could be your Alistair Link or Alistair himself, Nightmare Unicorn, you name it. You do have plenty of targets for Fusion Dragon here that are on your side of the field. So if your opponent doesn't have 2, you can still get rid of 1 nasty boss monster in place of this. And I was actually playing against new evil heroes last night a lot. And Super Poly came in super, super clutch against that deck, just because there's tons of dark monsters on the side of the field. And then his other fact is, basically, if this card is Fusion Summoned, you can make this card gain attack to equal to 1 special summon monster your opponent controls until the end of this turn. And then if this Fusion Summon card is destroyed, you can destroy all special summon monsters on your opponent that your opponent controls. So if your opponent gets rid of this card, it could be pretty bad for them. They just sort of lose their field if they can't stop it. And the other Super Poly target I'm playing is 1 Mud Dragon of the Swamp. I was debating between this and the World Chalice Guard Dragon, Almarduke. This one is 3 Link monsters. This one is 2 monsters of the same attribute but different types. I feel like this one is a little too situational and actually never came up in testing. So I think I'm going to go with the Mud Dragon of the Swamp for now, alongside the Starving Venom Fusion Dragon as the 2 Super Poly targets for the time being. So yeah, then we have 1 other fusion here, which is just 1000 Eyes Restrict. Of course, for the instant fusion. Now we'll go into the links here. We'll start with the smaller links first. The first one being none other than Link Karibo. Of course, we play a few level 1s in here, and also a good thing to go into off the 1000 Eyes. 1 Underclock Taker, 1 Mekk Knight of the Morning Star, 1 Alistair the Invoker of Madness, 1 Nightmare Phoenix, 1 Nightmare Unicorn, 1 Mekk Knight Spectrum Supreme. This card is so clutch. It comes up a lot just because, like, this card can steal so many games, especially when you can stall with Morningstar. Like, if you have a purple Nightfall coming back next turn and they're not expecting the Spectrum Supreme, you just put this in the other extra monster zone and attack directly for 3k. And it can't be destroyed or targeted. So it's a pretty good boss monster to go into late game, and it's very, very easy to make, especially with Morningstar. And then last but not least, 1 Borrelsword Dragon as the only link for it. You could play Crusadia Avermax, you could play Borreload, you could play Saryuja, although I wouldn't recommend it. I think Borreload or Sword or Avermax would be good to go as far as link 4s. But yeah, that's going to be it for this deck profile. I hope you guys enjoyed it. Be sure to let me know what you guys think down in the comment section below. I'll be getting hopefully some duels of this deck very, very soon. If you want to check out the stream where I played this deck that happened last night, link to my Twitch is down in the description below. Also, toss me a follow there if you haven't already. Yeah, join Discord as well. Check out Imperium Duelist. Hope you guys enjoyed. As always, WinterKill signing out. We'll see you guys in the next one.